What's up, guys? So today I'm trying to modify my tablet that I have on my dash. So I started off with the regular trim for the truck, and then I had a couple years back I had bought a case for my tablet, the one I use on my dash. It was a tree glue case, and it had this little plywood casing where the tablet sits. So I decided to use this and put it on the trim piece. So I measured it up, I cut it up, so it's gonna be sitting in there. It's gonna be flush. I'm gonna Bondo and do all that body work to it. But I also didn't want to just completely have the tablet, because I don't want to be doing all the extra wires and adapters and all that. So I wanted my stereo to be there, my little screen. So I came up with this idea. I have my little screen that I cut it off from this is part of the case that I had, and this is gonna be sitting behind my my other screen. So it's gonna be tablet, the other screen. So when I remove the tablet, you're gonna have this screen on there in case I lose Bluetooth connectivity, because sometimes it happens. So that's why I'm trying to do this, leave the little screen on there. So right now I cut this thing up, the string piece. I sanded some of these little parts down. I'm gonna glue it with some, this is what we're using, the granite stuff, CA glue. And this green bottle is slightly more, it's not too liquid, it's kind of like a gel. And then we use this accelerator, so it dries instantly. And I did the same thing over here. I cut it, I added some of the glue, but you can still see some of the bad cuts because I cut it with a knife. But it's still it's not perfect, so I'm gonna probably get some black silicone this around, make it look more pretty. And so right now I'm gonna use CA glue on glue this up, and then I'm gonna use an epoxy. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna use this epoxy for plastics. It's a two-part epoxy, and I'm gonna use that to fill in the bigger gaps. And well, from the back at least, because I don't think you can sand this. It says you can clean it up with acetone or mineral spirits. And then after that, I'm gonna Bondo this and do the body work, leave it all nice and smooth, make it look pretty. So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna glue it now, and then I'm gonna add the epoxy, and then I'll show you guys what's next and what I'm doing. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing the epoxy part, and I have some gaps between let's see if you guys can see them, like right there, between this little piece, the trim pieces that go on next to the knobs from when I cut them. So I'm going to epoxy those, and I epoxy the whole front with whatever, so I don't want residue coming through. And except this side, because this side is where the charging port comes through. And so I'm going to be filling in all those gaps, so I have more of a seal. So I'm going to go ahead and mix the epoxy and apply it on, wait for it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so my epoxy has dried, and I sanded it down somewhat, mostly so the Bondo can grab onto that. So I'm gonna go ahead now and prep the Bondo. It's a two-step process. That's the type of Bondo I'm using, and then it comes with a hardener. So it's essentially the same thing, another epoxy type deal like we use for granite. I'm gonna do that, apply it to all the sides, around, top, and back around, trying to fill in these gaps here. So it looks, and then we're gonna sand it down and see what it looks like. It might need another coat, hopefully not, but we'll see. So I'll show you guys after I've put the Bondo on that. Alright guys, so I finished doing the Bondo on this thing. I had to do the whole side up to the little lip to give it a better finish. And I sanded the whole thing down with 200, and I'm gonna now prime it. And I'm using a Rust-Oleum primer. It's a great primer, a spray can. So I'm gonna be spraying this, and then we'll go from there. I'll probably I know when we paint cabinets, we prime them, then we sand them down. So I might have to sand this down again with the 200 after I prime it, but we'll see how it finishes up in this thing. But so far it's looking pretty good. I'm liking the results. So I'm crossing my fingers and hopefully everything looks good. So I'll be back once I prime this stuff. Alright guys, I'm going to show you what I have so far. I painted the trim piece, but I painted it gloss black. This is what Home Depot had. I mean semi-gloss, and I'm pretty sure it sandens the finish. And so I have my little screen right there, and the tablet's going to sit in front of that, and the screen's going to sit behind that. And then on the back side, I had to cut this the back piece that holds everything together. Cut it in 2 pieces and then trim it up a little bit so it fits on there. So I still have these clips able to use them, and my little plugs are still there, and I can still connect to the 2 screws that go on here, and then this 2 over here. What I can't do is this one because it's already sitting too far out. If I put this piece that I trimmed it down a little, it's too bulky, and I don't think it's gonna fit on the truck. So I'm gonna have to just epoxy the screen to the case. And let me put the tablet on there, and I'll show you guys what it looks like, and I'll show you why I have this little thing. So the tablet's in there, and the reason why I put this thing is because this case is so snug that I can't pull the tablet out. Like I don't know if you guys seen Soundman's kits that he slides them in. So I just pull this tab down, or the little cord, and the tablet comes off. I'm gonna cut it off, but once I put it in the truck, so I know what looks good. I don't want to have this big 8 inches of little rope hanging down or whatnot. And the screen just fell off. I need to put everything together. So I'm going to put everything together, and then I'll show you guys what the final product looks like. So I'm going to show you guys what my old thing looked like. This is my it's not my truck's original. I bought it from some guy that had a work truck. That's why it doesn't have a CD player. Mine does. But that's pretty much how it's set in there. I had just cut this piece, and I had a Velcro on the back and Velcro on the tablet, and I would just plug in my tablet and I would just sit it in there like so. And that's the old one, so I'm gonna remove that now, and then I'll show you guys what the new one looks like. I know the new one, the color's not gonna match because I don't even know what color they use. It looks like a grayish, like a black gray, but in a satin finish. And at Home Depot, they only had a semi-gloss black paint. They didn't have any gray to kind of match what I had. So that's fine for now. I'm probably gonna have to touch it up and do things here and there sometime in the future. But for now, I'm good. I'm gonna leave it like it is. So let me take this off, and I'll show you guys what the new one looks like. Alright guys, so check it out. Everything I hooked up the stuff back up together, and it's working fine. Let me I'll throw this little shit up there. So the stuff works, the controls work, media, radio, home. I still have all my stuff. Let's go to radio, and let's see if these buttons work. They're working. I had to cut some of the other little where this not the screen, but the little motherboard is behind the screen hooks up to the back, to this back. I had to cut some mounting where the screws mount to this, but that's fine. I mean, it's working fine. And then let me put the tablet in there and I'll show you guys. There it is, guys. It's in there. Everything looks pretty good to me. I like the way it looks. It's now flush with the rest of the trim. But now I have Google Maps, YouTube, Waze for maps, Netflix, etc. Because now I have a little kid, so I play him a lot of Netflix on the road trips. And what I have on this tablet is an app called Tasker, right here. And what this does, it allows me to, when the Bluetooth, it's on the truck, because the truck has Bluetooth, the tablet connects to that Bluetooth and it automatically launches Pandora, and it sets the brightness to 100%. No, whenever it's on power, which is always on power when I turn on the truck, because I ran the charging port to it. So when I turn on the truck, it gets power. It automatically puts the tablet to turn off the screen in 24 hours, which you're not gonna need that. And whenever it loses power and Bluetooth connectivity, it'll turn off the tablet. Well, not turn off the tablet, but it'll turn off the screen. And there's a lot of things you could do with Tasker, guys. I'm not gonna go into detail because I'm just a beginner on that. But I can pretty much just do what I need for the tablet to function in this truck. And that's my install on my Nexus 7 on my 2014 Silverado Dash. Guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe my videos.